What's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
We're Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are checking out today the don'ts of visiting Scotland.
Cool.
From our buddy Wolter's World.
Yes.
He's been a go-to for travel stuff. And
Yeah.
since we're doing Scotland week here, figured this would fit right in.
Let's see.
Yep.
Let's just dive in.
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolter's World, and today we're in Aberdeen, Scotland at the King's College Chapel at Aberdeen University. And today what we have for you are the 10 don'ts of visiting Scotland, because there's some things you should do when you're here, like get out and explore the country and have a great time at Edinburgh. And yes, you should try the haggis and stuff like that. But there's things you don't do when you come here, and that's what we're going to focus on today.
That kid looks so amused.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's his son.
That kid looks so... He's just like... Get out of my face, Dad.
It's kind of hard to when you're B-roll in your dad's videos there.
Yep.
I'm sure Alexander will feel that way one day.
Yo, I hope so.
He will rebel against it.
Yes, I cannot wait.
And the first don't I have you when you come to Scotland is don't call the Scottish people English. Look, two different countries with a long history of a little animosity, a little bit more than a little animosity out there. So your best bet is don't call them English. Now, they are part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but so the British, it's okay, but they are not English. That's the first thing you should do. Don't call them English. My second don't I have for you is if you're going to be coming here...
Yeah, look at all those snacks on there. Look at that. And Iron Brew. That... Yep. And I wish... They do sell it on Amazon here in the States, but, man, I could drink that stuff a lot. I mean, as much as I do regular Coca-Cola,
Yes.
which is, as we've learned, is something that the Scots pride themselves on, that Iron
That's
Brew
right.
outsells Coca-Cola.
That's
there.
right.
It's the only one of the few countries where that happens.
Well, you're crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
I have for you is if you're going to be coming here and you need to buy anything, don't expect stores to be open past 6 o'clock. Some stores in some bigger cities will be open later, but in general, if you're going to be going to places like Isle of Skye or Inverness or here in Aberdeen, just know by 6, pretty much most everything's closed and the shopping areas can be ghost towns. So do check ahead if you do need to do some shopping. What are some places that are open up later so you can go pick some stuff up? But if you're in some of the smaller villages that you really should visit, make sure you get all your tour shopping done by 5 or 6, okay? Now, my third don't...
That's
Wow.
huge.
6 p.m.
Which is good for them. You know why? You know why? Because that means they invest more time in being human.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of the store 6 o'clock and go enjoy life.
Yes. So
For once.
But I could see as a tourist being used to this area where everything's open like way past normal.
Yeah, 24/7
Yeah.
in a lot of cases.
That would be a culture shock.
For sure, for
Like,
sure.
I need toothpaste. Well, shit, I'll luck till tomorrow, bud.
Yeah, I gotta wait till 8
Damn.
tomorrow.
For you when you come here is, look, Scotland is great to bring your family. We're here with the boys and have a great time. But one of the don'ts I have for you is don't try to take your kids out to dinner late at a pub. Pubs won't let kids in after 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and some pubs don't let kids in at all, even if they have food and stuff like that. So if you're walking around like, let's get some pub grub that kids tend to like, you might not be able to get them in, so just a heads up for that one. But overall, very kid-friendly, but don't try to take your pubs late night, obviously, or in the evening for a later dinner, because they won't be let in. And that means you won't be let in either. Now, my fourth...
Okay, so kind of the same thing with Ireland. Just a bunch of no shit Sherlock. Like,
Yeah.
don't bring your kids to a pub after 8 or 9 p.m. Because
Yeah.
some shenanigans gonna be going on.
Yeah. It's not because they're denying you. They're trying to protect your family
Exactly.
by denying you.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Now, my fourth don't for you is don't just stay in Edinburgh. I know Edinburgh is fantastic. It is
Shetland
gorgeous. We
Islands.
have Edinburgh Castle up on the top, or Holyrood, house at the bottom, or the hills you can hike, and all the cool stuff here. The Museum of Childhood. There's so much great stuff in Edinburgh that most people just go there, see that, and then maybe check out Glasgow or something, or Stirling. Look, you've got to explore this country. It is fantastic. Whether you're going to the Isle of Skye or the Highlands or whatever, you want to get out to nature and see more than just the beautiful city of Edinburgh. So do that. And a lot of people make that mistake. They don't get out and explore. You really should. Now, my next don't for you is don't forget they drive on the left here. So make sure you're looking both directions multiple times if you're not used to it. And you're...
Okay, so another thing with both England and Ireland, they drive on the other side of the road.
That's something that I would have to, like, I wake up in the morning, that's, like, part of the mantra.
Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah.
Check.
Don't look on this side. Look on this side.
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all know what I was saying.
Oh man. Yep.
You're going to need to rent a car when you're here to really see all the stuff. So don't be afraid to rent a car. It will take you some time to get used to the roundabouts and the tiny skinny roads and stuff like that. But the benefits of having your own car and driving around is way better than
I just read that on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it says that they will, if you get a ticket in Scotland, they'll mail it to you no matter where you are in the world.
What? Oh my God, that's a little much.
Yeah, it's a little extra. I ain't gonna lie.
taking public transport. Now, don't get me wrong, they've got good buses and trains, beautiful trains. You can go and see some amazing not architecture, but nature out there. But seriously, you need a car to get around. So just don't forget, drive on the left, and don't be scared to rent a car when you're here. Now, when you are driving around, one of the don'ts I have for you is don't be afraid to talk to the locals or ask them a question. Hey, I got lost. Where should I go? What's the best direction? Where's the best place to eat? Where's a good pub? These kind of things, because the locals are super friendly to the tourists that come here, which is crazy when you have so many tourists that don't know how to drive on the left-hand side and drive slow and all these things. The people still are super nice to the tourists, and that's one thing I really enjoy. The Scottish people have been so hospitable to us multiple times when we've come here that's why we always love coming back. I mean, Jocelyn loves it here so much. She says, Mark, why don't we find you a job here? Yeah, my ancestors, they actually taught it here when it was King's College before it was Aberdeen University. And she's like, hey, we could come back and keep the family legacy going. I mean, and a lot of that comes down to the really nice people you will see here in Scotland. So don't be afraid to ask directions or where the nearest pub is or a place to go eat when you're with your kids in case they can't go in. People will be very helpful with you. Now, next...
Hey! Hey! Yes! Yes!
We found it now!
We found it! Is this the same one? Did you guys remove that from there? God.
Whoever sent that to us, I feel bad that I don't remember who it was, but thank you for that.
Oh my God. Awesome.
P.O. Box in the description.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's actually probably the first time I've seen that in any of our videos.
Yeah.
Hey. Sweet.
There's also a couple other things to unpack here. One is that Mark Wolter himself, I've learned that he's a university professor.
Cool.
And that's his main job. And this is what he does for fun when he's traveling out.
Oh.
He gives travel tips and tricks.
It suits him.
Yeah. And the friendliness of the Scots. I guess Mark knows what he's doing when he goes abroad, because I actually watched fellow American React YouTuber It's JPS vlogs when he was in Scotland, and apparently he was treated rather rudely. I'm just curious as to whether there's validity to what Mark is saying, because we have firsthand experience from that. And again, it's just one person, so it could be different. I don't know. And the reason JPS gave was what America has been doing politically in the past couple of years. And that's the reason they gave for being standoffish with Americans. So if there's any validity to that, let us know.
And don't blame us.
Yeah. we're just one individual person.
They took it all out on him.
Yeah.
He's like the ambassador. That sucks.
Yeah, that does
God.
suck. JPS, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, man, that sucks, dude.
To deal with those locals is don't be afraid if you don't understand them. Look, Scotland, sometimes people have a pretty strong accent. If you're from the US or you're non-native speaker, sometimes it can be difficult to understand. So don't be upset if you go, are they speaking English? Yes, they are. They just have kind of a little Scottish drawl there for you, okay? So don't freak out about that. The next don't I have for you has to deal with the food. Don't feel obliged to eat the haggis and black pudding and white pudding and all these things that maybe aren't to your taste. Look, there's a lot of really good Scottish food, like Scottish salmon and the Scottish pies and stuff like that are the Scotch eggs. Oh my God, the food here is really great. But the thing is, most people, when they think of Scottish food, think of haggis, which is like ground up organ meat stuffed in an intestine, or black pudding, which is, basically sausage made out of blood. And people are like, oh my God. Look, don't feel like you have to have those. They will have them on your breakfast buffets and stuff like that. And if you want to have something, I recommend maybe getting a haggis meatball or black pudding meatballs as an appetizer, and then go have some of the other good foods that are here. So don't feel obligated to eat the really interesting food here, because there's some really great stuff out here. Now, my next don't for you has...
All right. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Haggis meatball.
Haggis meatball.
I could definitely probably down that.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't remember who, but someone in our community messaged us saying that they're gonna send us haggis.
Please
And
don't.
I guess we're gonna have to try it because we love our subscribers and we love all of you that watch our videos.
And
we swear we do.
And I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a nice taste. I'm just saying, does it travel well? Because it needs to travel to get to us. And I'm like, oh my God. That's why I'm just like,
and come on, man. It's close to water, so the salmon and all the seafood has got to be good. Got to be.
it has to be better than Oklahoman crab cakes.
Yeah. Ugh, that,
You know what I mean?
Gets me in my Marylandness right there.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Has to do with what you're going to buy when you come here. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can get here and fun souvenirs and stuff. But one thing is I see tourists going in and they're buying kilts when you're here. And that's why I think another don't I'm going to have for you is don't buy a kilt when you come to Scotland. One, because they're expensive. And as a tourist, you know, you're buying expensive things. That's really nice though. But what really is are you really going to wear a kilt? Now, if your ancestors are Scottish, you know, and you're going to be using it at weddings and other functions, then sure, go ahead, go crazy. They cost hundreds to thousands of pounds, okay?
What?
But if you're a tourist, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a kilt to take home with me and wear on Halloween. Man, that's going to be probably your most expensive Halloween costume you've ever had. So I just want to give you a heads up for that. Maybe it's don't buy one, but really think about it before you do. Now, my next don't deals.
Oh God, the kilt.
But it has to be Maryland tartan.
Yes, it does have to be.
And they do not have Maryland tartan.
They do not. A lot of people want me to wear one. Me specifically, and I guess maybe you too.
It wouldn't fit. It wouldn't work. My roots would I wouldn't allow me to.
No?
No Colombian wears a kilt.
No. And I haven't done any ancestry DNA thing, but it's the Irish and the Welsh that gave claim to the Joyce name. So I don't know if the Scottish iteration of this would be appropriate. But I will just say, if you're going to do it, be sure it covers me.
I suffer
Yes.
for his kilting. Remember this.
Yes.
You guys don't.
I had to get
do.
that in there. I had to get that in there.
With the beautiful nature they have here in Scotland. I mean, it is gorgeous here, whether you're in the Highlands or wherever. I mean, it's just gorgeous. But the thing is, with that gorgeous nature comes midges, bugs that will bite you with these little red dots all over you. And the thing is, my don't for that is don't forget to bring some good bug spray because you're going to need it to keep those midges away, especially if you're going to like Isle of Skye and places like that on the West Coast.
Like a chigger?
Chiggers, maybe just little bugs.
Like mites?
Chiggers it's probably the right closest thing we have here to that. So,
But I mean, you get those in the woods out here.
Yeah. I've gotten them before.
Probably more so in the Carolinas than Maryland.
I've definitely gotten them. I don't have the experience to compare the two, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Man.
Yeah.
All right.
You really will have some issues there. Now, my next don't for you has to do with accommodation. And I will tell you this, you're going to want to come to Scotland and you'll see how gorgeous it is. And you're going to want to come and stay longer and longer and longer. And you want to stay at the best B&Bs, the cutest locations, because there's so many B&Bs and hotels and restaurants and all kinds of places that are just the most quaint, beautiful places. But you can't get in because you didn't reserve in time. So my don't for this one is don't wait to reserve your B&B and where you're going to stay, your accommodation here in Scotland, because it sells out a couple months in advance or more in advance in some of these nicer places. So make sure once you decide we're going to Scotland, go and find those B&Bs and book them right away, because you may want to stay on the Isle of Skye, but hey, there might not be any vacancies available. I know when we went, I mean, we were planning a few months in advance and we could not get anything on Skye, so we stayed in this cute little town called Plockton, which hey, turned out to be great anyway, because let's be honest, pretty much anywhere you go in Scotland looks like a postcard. But when we were there, we wanted to stay on Skye, but we couldn't, so we ended up in Plockton, which was great. but we couldn't get there because we didn't reserve in time. So don't wait to reserve those B&Bs. And if you're in one of these smaller towns, you might want to reserve a spot in the restaurants for dinner time because they have limited space. So just heads up for that one. Another don't I have for you, if you're going to be staying in these small towns, is realize there's not always an ATM everywhere you're going to be. So have some extra cash when you get out of the airport and stuff like that. They take pounds here, and you might see Scottish pounds or British pounds. It's the same thing. You'll be fine. But I know we were in Plockton and some other places. Sometimes the ATM drives up only a few days a week. So always good to have some cash on hand. So don't just think you're going to use card all the time. Do have some cash with you. Now, my last don't for here in Aberdeen is don't think that you're close when the map shows you close, because it may be that it's only like 50 miles. You think, oh, 50 miles, that's going to take me 50 minutes. Oh, no. With the roads, how they wind, and you're going by the first, and you're going by the locks and all the glens and stuff like that. It's gorgeous, but you're going to slow down. It's going to take you time. So it might be 50 miles, but it might take you an hour and a half to get there, an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So make sure you do kind of plan that when you are driving.
All right, very cool. So those last three were just kind of no shit Sherlock. I mean, I guess the winding roads, that's probably not something you would expect, but it's very country area, so that kind of...
Well, that would throw me off.
Yeah.
That would throw me off. I mean, even... Because our country roads here are like your freeways. Like, our country roads, our small ones, are like they're massive ones.
Yeah, they're huge. They're huge.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about, book early, keep some cash on you, that's some no shit Sherlock right there.
Yeah. And the plug adapters. That's something that it would shoot me in the ass.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. I think I'm just going to buy us, 2 of them just so we could take them when we do go abroad, even if we don't have something planned.
Yeah, just to have in the... Yeah, just to have in the backpack or whatever.
For sure.
But this is great.
Mark Wolter, 2 thumbs up to you. Man. You're always come through and always start good conversations about these visiting these places.
Yes.
And I mean, there's some that a lot of people in the comments do dispute some of what he says because, unless you actually live there and you're not a traveler, you don't really know all that much. But he gets the ball rolling here.
Yes. So that's exactly, he zeroes in on the point that he's trying to make.
Yes.
And then you guys clarify from there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good experience.
Yes.
And let us know. Let us know. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yep. Thanks in advance for those comments, liking, subscribing, hitting that bell, and sharing with your friends.
Definitely, guys.
Till next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
Unplug and do something epic.
See you next time.
Later.
Fellas, we could be that mistake. Let's do this.